Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. This is our week 3 best bets episode for our contest. Every week, Dynell and I make 5 picks against the spread, and we have our 5. We've dug, we've got back to our roots. We've got some ugly dogs, some bad quarterbacks. You guys love it. We've got it. But before we get into our 5 bets of the week, let me bring on my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. I know. Welcome back, man.
Yeah, what's going on, my guy? Welcome back to another picks. Some redemption again needs to be held this week. We need to get back on track. Like you said, getting back to our roots. That is really the main thing of our picks. Of our picks today. So getting back to, you're gonna notice a lot of old trends that we used to follow. Let's say get back into the roots, man, because that's how we were winning anyway.
Yeah, it's we're back to the bad quarterbacks. We're back.
Right.
There is one decent quarterback that you guys might be happy backing against a really good team. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Leading us off, the leadoff hitter, we've got the Titans minus 2.5 at home versus the Packers. Looks like, if I had to take a bet, which I am, Jordan Love is not playing in this game. Historically, the Packers have been very, very hesitant and precautious with their injuries. Just ask David Bakhtiari. They're hesitant to throw out guys that are kind of, working their way back. There's no rush. He's the future quarterback for this team. They just paid him a bunch of money.
Big
And
bag.
I think this is telling that the Titans are such a, in their historical terms, a larger favorite as a 0-2 team. You and I both know that the Titans should be 2-0. They should be
Yeah, they
undefeated.
should be 2-0. Right.
This should be a letdown spot for them. It's, however, the complete opposite. This is a get right spot. Their defense has been surprising, to say the least. I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a very heavy workload, and he's going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders in this game. Let's be real. The Titans know exactly what Malik Willis is. They cut him for a reason. There is nothing that they wanted from him. They took Will Levis over him, and Will Levis has back-to-back weeks had 2 very bad turnovers in the red zone. The coach came out and blatantly said, "Hey, this is just you're messing up, and this cannot continue." This is a good right spot for the Titans. I think they win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by double digits. I think this Titans defense is going to stun the Packers offense. So give us the Titans minus 2.5, 1-for-1 on ugly quarterback so far.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And it was via trade. So not they cut, but it was via trade.
Oh, that's right.
But at the end of the day, no, you're most certainly right. Now there's film on you. LaFleur did a great job scheming around him last week. It's going to be a little bit more difficult this week, knowing that they know what Malik Willis is good at. It's a lot of quick stuff going on. They leaned on Josh Jacobs heavy, 32 carries last week. He carried a heavy workload. So expect this Titans defense, who has been playing well all year. Let's be real. This Titans defense has been playing very, very well. They've been in both games, even though we expected them to kind of take a fall off. Will Lettuce and Tomato. All you got to do is stop fucking throwing the fucking ball into the other team's hands, and you'll be just fine. Right now, you'll be 2-0. So I'm gonna bank on that. I'm gonna bank on this coaching staff really talking to Will Levis. Say, hey, let's protect the ball here. Let's keep it within the game. Let's manage the game this time, and let that defense kind of show up and show out. Let's give our defense some help there. So no doubt, definitely will take the minus 2.5, especially with them at home. And on top of that, like you said, they know what Malik Willis is and what he can and what he can't do.
That's right. Dino, why don't you give them what we got in the 2-hole?
Yes, sir. At the 2-hole, we got the terrible towel. Steelers minus 1.5, and we're backing here Justin Fields, who hasn't turned the ball over all year, at home, which is in Pittsburgh with the terrible towel. Crazy place to play at. Everybody knows all that. And T.J. Watt going against a banged up Justin Herbert. What are you talking about here? Just the same reason about last week, why I was kind of shy on taking the Ravens last week, and that front D line getting pressure. Now we're talking about a quarterback who's honestly is in improvement mode right now. Like I said, to me he's overrated right now. Let's keep it real. Justin Herbert's been terribly overrated. It's in one of those things where Jim Harbaugh's kind of changing the whole, how am I say it, the whole offensive landscape. It's no longer a run and gun, run and gun, run and gun, and use his talent. This has become now a run the ball, ground and pound. I believe what is it? Roman, is it Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers? I don't know if he is. I have to double check that, but
Yeah, I
it's
think so. I
Roman.
think so.
Yeah, it's Roman, Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. You've seen the same thing happen in Baltimore for the past 2 to 3 years. So what do? You stop the run. This team is very capable of that. It's one of the top defenses in the league. This is what they've been the top. They've been a top defense for the past decade. So so honestly, I mean, right then and there, it kind of gives you what you want. We got the number at 1.5 right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, it's at -3. So I mean, it's a lot of money coming in on the Steelers right now, and if we get it at the 1.5 hook, kind of low, and you're at home against just a banged up Justin Herbert, yeah, no doubt here.
Yeah, in the battle of the Justins, we're going to take the Fields.
Take the
I'll,
Fields. I like that. I like that. You
I
got
just
me.
feel like the success of the Chargers to begin the year has really been reliant on J.K. Dobbins. And I feel like he's going to get probably the toughest matchup of his career. He's going against
Yeah.
the Steelers defense. And, we're not ones to wish injuries upon anybody. And,
No.
we hope that's not the case. But I'm sure it does not feel good having a rib injury and TJ Watt clobbers you in the pocket because he's going to get
Right.
pressure. Even
Yeah,
if he
he's
doesn't
getting
get a
there.
sack,
He's
he's
getting
going to
there.
get a hit on the
He's
quarterback.
getting
So,
there.
he's going to let you know he's there. I think this is a good spot at home for the Steelers. I think this is a really good spot for them. Give us the Steelers.
Yeah, no doubt.
Number 3, we've got another ugly dog. We have the Denver Broncos traveling to Tampa Bay to face on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. Or the Broncos +6.5. The Buccaneers might have just had their best win over the last season and a half. And I'm not saying that lightly.
Nah,
They
he's right.
beat the Lions outright. They got their revenge, and to be honest, this just seems like such a letdown spot. We really wish this number was 7.5, like truthfully, but I feel like this is going to be the tallest task for that Buccaneers receiving core, and Rashad White's a little banged up. I just don't see, you know, if this game gets out of hand and Buccaneers go up 21 early, it might be wraps. Like
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and think this is a shootout. I love the under in this game. It kind of plays into our game script with the Broncos. I mean, would we be surprised if the Buccaneers only put up one touchdown? I don't think so.
No, no, absolutely
Patrick
not.
Surtain, he is the real deal. Might be
Mm-hmm.
the best corner in the league, and he's going to have a task in front of him, which I think he's going to easily handle. Mike Evans has been the rolling force of that offense, and you saw it versus the Commanders. I think this is a really good spot for the Broncos. I think Bo Nix gets his first passing touchdown. I think this offense gets some decent motion and they get downfield and give us points. I don't think we're asking for a lot. I think if the Broncos can get us 14 points, 13 points, I think we cover.
Cover it.
So,
Yeah,
we're not
exactly.
even we're asking for maybe 2 touchdowns. So, I like the Broncos in the spot. I think it's a letdown spot for the Bucks at home after a huge win. I'm rolling with the Broncos, Dino.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting a little inflated number too, considering the fact that the Buccaneers dropped 44 on the Commanders, which was anomaly. And then, like I said, when you get a big win in Detroit, you only put up 20 points, and Baker Mayfield got sacked 5 to 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge concern, a big problem. And on top of that, like I said, with Sertan out there, being able to kind of roam the field and just kind of be able to contain one side of the field, which is the big weapon, which is Mike Evans. I mean, that's going to do wonders because you got to understand this. Let's be honest, this is not an offensive juggernaut, and I feel like right now this is the viewpoint of what the public and what Vegas is kind of seeing is this high octane offense over the first week. Yes, they played a better defense last week, but they got the win. They played good defense. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I really believe the Broncos can do a little bit more damage than they did the last couple of weeks. They played in Pittsburgh, for crying out loud, with a rookie quarterback. We all know how hard that is. So going in, yes, it's on the road, but you're going into Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? You now get, like I said, you've been to your first experience. You played a way tougher defense. You're gonna have a little bit of an easier week, especially not dealing with T.J. Watt. I think the best pass rusher for the Buccaneers is who? I don't. Yeah,
I don't even think Vita Vea is playing, is he?
yeah. I have no idea. I don't. I don't know. I'm about to double
I
check
think last
that.
thing I
But
saw
even
was
if
Vita Vea was checking. If you want to check that while
right, yeah. Let me go ahead and look here. But the big thing is, even if Vita Vea is out, you're also talking about a run game getting going. The Broncos have struggled in the run game. This would be a nice little way to attack that middle. Vita Vea is not playing. Vita Vea returned to practice, but he is doubtful in week 3. So yes,
Yeah,
you're
that's
talking
that's
about
huge. That's huge.
yes, a huge, especially on that D line, interior pressure, and on top of that run stuffing. So if the Broncos, I believe the Broncos can get a running game going to kind of help out Bo Nix, use some couple screens, a little bit of RPO game, and just like I said, just get them going, just get them moving. And I feel like he's going to be able to move down the field a little bit easier this week.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily last week was the Bucks beating the Lions. I think
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff beat the Lions. He had
Beat the
some
Lions.
really bad
Yes,
interceptions, and
yes,
he didn't look
yes.
sharp. So I think this is a good spot for the Broncos. We're not going to let the line inflated stray us away. Dynell, give him number 4.
Number 4, Miami. Where you at? Tua. Like I said, Tua. It was very unfortunate what happened to Tua. And I know we got Skylar. I know we got Skylar Thompson is what his name is,
Yep.
replacing him. So we're gonna go to Miami. We're gonna take the plus 4.5 when you pass 2 key numbers, and they're going against here the
Seattle.
Seattle. Yep, the Seattle Seahawks, who is to be honest with you, let's be real, unimpressive. They have not impressed me with the first 2 weeks. They had 2 big performances against between DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba both went over 100 receiving yards that game. That happened late on in the game. We saw even last night the Patriots defense began to fall apart. Aaron Rodgers was carving them up on Thursday Night Football. Good to see him moving out the pocket and getting out right. So hey, that Jets defense is getting
Yeah, he looked good.
that Jets defense and offense gained confidence against the Patriots last night, and we kind of seen that. So we're now going into a situation to where it's Skylar Thompson. I get it; it's a backup, but this backup's been here for 3 years now. This is nothing new. Tua has dealt with injuries, as we all know, for the past 3 seasons. They got weapons completely outside, speed that can break big plays. So, I mean, like I said, you back up A-Chain, you back up Tyreek Hill, you back up Waddle, you back Jonnu Smith, who's made plays last week. So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you're not betting with Skylar Thompson. You're betting with the help around him, and that's one thing Mike McDaniel has done. He's definitely put talent around no matter what quarterback goes out there. And you're going to expect this defense to kind of show up a little bit more. Jalen Ramsey being out there, kind of locking down the one side of the field. So, no, we got to definitely take Miami here, plus 4.5. Plus the 2 key numbers. Like I said, we're going back to our roots. Past 2 key numbers, and like you said, bro, it's a backup quarterback who's been there in the system for 3 years.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel has been such a scheme artist.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tua flourishes in that offense. They have speed, they have depth. I really think it's going to be a lot of short game. Get the guys out in motion, make people confused. Seattle's got a they don't have a very good pass rush. Their secondary has been playing really well. It's going to be a battle of protection versus speed. And if the Miami Dolphins can protect Skylar Thompson for a
Mm-hmm.
for a majority of the game,
The game,
I think they'll be okay.
seriously.
I think they
Right.
could win this game outright. I
Yeah,
really think they can go into
honestly,
Seattle and
I'm,
win.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, we wouldn't take dogs if we didn't think they could win. But I think this is a good spot for the Dolphins, especially they're leaving last week with a bad taste in their mouth. So, I think the Dolphins get up, get ready. They know they still have talent on this roster, and it's a long season. They're not just going to roll over and die. Like they're
Right.
going to find ways to be competitive, and this is a great start. I think this is a good spot for them to figure that out. And last but not least, our final pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking the Atlanta Falcons plus 3.5 versus the
Kirko
Kansas
Chains.
City Chiefs.
Kirko Chains.
Man, last week was rough for Bengals backers. They covered, but for people on the Bengals money line, dude, what a bad beat. The Chiefs escape defeat again. Rough pass interference call to extend the game and ultimately give the Kansas City Chiefs the win. The Falcons showed us something last week versus the Eagles, which we were waiting to see. Kirk Cousins planting his back foot and throwing the ball downfield. Darnell Mooney came alive. Drake London, high usage in the end zone, found the end zone basically to win the game. And we saw what Kirk Cousins can do. 2-minute offense goes down the field, no problem. And we're not saying the Eagles secondary is the best, but they're decent. They've got some depth. They got some veterans. And Kirk Cousins makes some really incredible passes. That could be maybe it's on Vic Fangio for soft coverage. Maybe it's on Kirk Cousins for just finding the right read. And I will say, I think this is a really good spot for the Falcons. I think their offensive line looked incredible versus the Eagles. The Eagles could not get any pressures. The first half, I think they I only think they had maybe one quarterback pressure. I mean, it was we saw Kirk Cousins get out of the pocket once and rolled out to his right and he made a decent throw. I think the Falcons are on the up now. I know they looked really rough versus the Steelers. Kirk Cousins had a bounce back game last week, and now I think he's kind of putting everything into full gear, full throttle. Kyle Pitts, this is your week, man. You got to get going. I think if Kyle Pitts can get involved in this offense and focus on taking over the middle of the field, the Falcons could win this game, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's Sunday Night Football prime time. Kirk Cousins getting out of that prime time slump as you saw the last week. I think this is a really good spot for Kirk, man. I really like the Falcons in this spot.
Yeah, most certainly. And I think what we saw last week, especially in that fourth quarter, that second half, fourth quarter range, is Kirk Cousins starting to get his feel back. The same prime example with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't pass over 176 passing yards the first two games, but against a Patriots defense, he dropped 280, two touchdowns, and he got outside the pocket and started moving and throwing about. So you start to see Aaron Rodgers get his flow back. I think we're starting to see that coming back from Kirk Cousins. Like you said, he came off an Achilles injury, looked a shell of himself week one. He honestly, like I said, he was back and forth week two, but he started to catch on late, which was huge. He hit Darnell Mooney for two big plays in that drive to score the touchdown. Think about it, he scored a touchdown in 40 seconds in that game. That is hard enough as it is. So you gotta understand, Kirk Cousins is getting back into it. Like you said, in prime time, we're not scared of him no more. He definitely ended the slump last week. And against the Chiefs, man, the Chiefs, like I said, the Chiefs don't win big. Even if they do win, they don't win big at all. We get the 3.5 hook there, so we pass the one key number. And like I said, this defense, that Atlanta defense, boy, did they show up when they needed to last week. Granted, maybe not the last play because I get Saquon Barkley dropped the ball. Sorry there. But at the end of the day, they made plays when they needed to throughout the middle of the game to keep that offense within the game. Justin Simmons showed exactly what he's about. A.J. Terrell showed exactly what he was about. I mean, and they stopped. And after a while, they began to start to run a little bit. I know the Eagles went away from it. But once they got back into it late in the fourth quarter, they stopped the runs that they needed to, especially late in the game. So, hey, like I said, I believe in this Falcons team right now. That defense, hey, man, looks really good.
Yeah, the Falcons top 5 in the league in red zone efficiency on defense. They hold you to field goals, man. They force you to go for it, and they make stops, and they make plays. And Kirk Cousins started throwing the ball, and the Chiefs are 31st right now against the pass. Bijan Robinson gets going, third and short. I feel like Kirk is going to have no problem converting on the majority of his third downs. I think it's a really good spot for the Falcons. So anything over a field goal, we're going to back the Falcons.
Hey, no Pacheco either. He's out for a while.
That's huge.
Like I said, you're going back to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you just signed Kareem Hunt. You basically are going back to the same offense you had 3 years ago, and that's back when you had Tyreek Hill. So this is going to be a little bit different of a scene for the Chiefs, Kareem Hunt and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But hey, man, I mean, Andy Reid can make magic happen. I don't think it's going to be this week though.
Yeah, I hopefully us fantasy owners of Travis Kelce, maybe we can get some usage this week. So I think I speak for all of us when I say that. So those are our 5. Titans minus 1.5 or 2.5, excuse me. Steelers minus 1.5. Broncos plus 6.5. Dolphins plus 4.5, and Falcons plus 3.5.
Yes, sir.
We're out of Survivor, so we're not even going to waste your time.
Survivor kicked their ass.
Shout out to the Bengals and you know what? And listen, if you're going to take me out early, okay?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Don't let me stick around until week 15 and then get my heart broken. So hey, we don't got to worry about it. We're all locked in on our 5 best bets of the week. For those of you guys who are watching the podcast in visual format, it may look a little bit different. Our editor is out of town, so we have handed over the reins to myself. And if the quality doesn't look as great because our editor is awesome, shout out to Tyler. Yeah, that's why. But that'll do it for us. We're going to get out of here. We've got some games to watch. College football tomorrow. Dynell, any last words for the viewers?
Same message every episode, Knuckleheads. Make sure you guys tune in live to us on X at Shred the Spread _. Also, like I said, updates, injuries, like I said, real-time bets. We'll go ahead and get that information out there to you guys when they come out. Because like you said, now, for the contest, we're locked in regardless. But for anybody who's actually making plays throughout the weekend, we're going to definitely keep you guys tuned in. If not, Also, follow me on X at Dyneezy, Dyneeezy. And I got some interaction this week. Actually, yesterday I actually got an interaction. I don't know if it was a fan or not, but I got some interaction about the whole Bryce Young situation or how I feel about that. So, guys, keep hitting me up. I will always reply. I definitely love to engage with other people and what their thoughts are. So, hey, definitely follow me. And let's get this train going, man. Let's get back going this week. I need a 4-1 to 5-0 week. I need to get back on track.
Yeah, we've got the ugly dogs. We're going back to our roots. He said it best.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on any other platform besides Spotify, please do so. If you want to see us in video on Spotify, we're also trying to keep up to date with the video episodes on YouTube. Our last episode was not on YouTube for video, but we're trying to keep it up to date as much. It's supposed to be automated. Unfortunately, sometimes some things get missing in the matrix. So if you guys haven't checked us out on video, please do so. Let us know what you think, how you feel. Otherwise, thank you again for wherever you're listening. Until next time, for our Week 4 preview, we'll see you.
Peace.